a cost of a 30-second video should be lesser
Hmm.
than a 2-minute video. I mean, that's like this funny notion that people have. Just because I want a 30-second video, I want a 45-second ad or
Huh.
something. It's not a 2-minute ad, but we're like, okay, so it doesn't work like that, like.
Right. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast where we talk to agency owners, influencers, and anybody in the social media space who you can learn from and pick up tricks. Today we have Karishmaa, the co-founder at AntiGravity, a one-stop solution for all the video content needs that your business would require. They work with all sorts of clients in industries ranging from real estate, corporates, and they even helped Comic-Con India last year for their events as well as their after production. Welcome to our podcast, Karishmaa.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Karishma, the first thing that I'd like to ask you is to know a little bit about your journey being an entrepreneur as well as working in the marketing space, how you kind of, got to this point and, what's your experience been like so far?
So, okay, so very honestly, my background is actually in design and into spatial design, etc. And my husband, who is the co-founder, is a DOP, that's like the director of photography and films, etc.
Mm,
Ad films, everything. So it kind of just kind of like organically set in the entire journey of ours and starting this company. I've always had a forte for writing and developing stories and aesthetics has also been a strong point because of my design backing. So it just cohesively like fit in place, and we were just discussing about how we would like to make content for other people too. It's something that we really like doing, telling stories, developing stories, and we realized I mean, we made a good team besides being married, and we also, I mean, I personally have this, I mean, I'm pretty observant and have this intuitive personality. So it kind of is an added bonus in this profession, especially if you have like, you just somehow know what the opposite person wants, needs before they can even express it themselves. So we kind of developed it just, like slowly, very old school. We took it one step at a time. We didn't want to like, go like head on and, progress extremely fast and then just the bubble bursting. So we did it slowly, old school, one step at a time, bootstrapped. And I mean, it worked well. Our work and our quality of work spoke, and one client led to another client to a third client. And we somehow, initially and till today, we have a strong foothold in real estate. So that is where the content on our website, everywhere else also, people started seeing it, and then we started getting contacts from, I mean, like queries from other brands and other businesses, the corporate world. And yeah, well, it's been that kind of a process, slowly, steadily wins the race kinds. And we developed a great team right now. That's our, like, I mean, that's something that I really am excited about. We have
mm.
people on board who are excited about what they do. They want to come and work for us. And they want to like, okay, there's no hours that they see, and it's not something that we've given them a big like free hand, no hierarchy system here. So it's kind of been fun, and yeah, so that's just been our journey so far. I mean, of
That's
course,
awesome.
there have been a lot of trial and errors also,
Mm.
and we've like learned along the way, which are what our niche is in. So yeah.
So, let me ask you about that. I mean, you mentioned a couple of things. One, that this is a business that you and your husband have started together. Um, and you mentioned you guys have like a good working relationship. Is that something that you've always had to kind of work towards, or was it something that you realized, okay, this is something that we can also add on to like our relationship? What was that kind of process like, and who even initiated the conversation of starting a business together?
So that was definitely my husband. And so we are like kind of yin and yang, you can say that. I am probably the let's do that, we've got to do this. And he's like, okay, we need to calm down. He's the
Right.
practical head at things. So he's like, a more practical approach, a more systematic approach. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it kinda it was his idea, definitely.
Hmm.
And I mean, since he is in this industry since a really long time,
Right.
and he knew that I also have a liking for, like, we see a lot of things together, like shows and movies and any interesting content. We just love watching it. So uh, I have written stuff initially earlier also for like certain blogs, etc. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, it just like gelled in, and we were like, why not? Let's just try it out.
That's so cool. And you mentioned something which I think is really important for anybody who's kind of getting to this space or wondering how they can start their own sort of journey working with an agency or even starting their own, is that you took it one step at a time, right? You mentioned that you had
Yeah,
one client and then they referred you and stuff. And what do you
yeah.
think is kind of your secret sauce in all of this? What do you think made you guys special with your clients being so happy with your work? You briefly mentioned your team. Is it a process that you have? Is it the yeah, I mean, give us a little insight into that.
So basically, if you go to see, we kind of don't. Whenever a client comes to us, I mean, I just tell everybody to just listen first. Like, let's
Hmm.
not just shoot things at them and big words and like, get them all confused. Because whenever someone comes to you, sometimes you know, they know what they want, but they don't know exactly what they want. So
Right.
you have to just take them through that process and help them, lay that foundation and understand what exactly is it that their brand wants to talk about, or
Hmm.
what their company wants to talk about. And I mean, even when we talk about budgets with them, like, we don't just, okay, this is a thing, this is our fixed price, this is like
Hmm.
for a 45-second or for 1 minute or for 2 minutes, anything. It's basically, we do not want our clients to overspend, and it doesn't make sense for us. We are really, really, very, I mean, telling stories is something that we're really passionate about. So for
Right.
us, we know exactly where the client should be spending, where their money should go, how tactfully we can use the budget. And because I, like I said, because my husband's in this field and
Hmm.
he's got a great technical knowledge with all that, we have an added advantage because we know where the money goes, where it can be extra spend, where it cannot be. So we keep that in check. And that's, I mean, for us, I mean, for me, I feel that's something that even a client, anyone would,
Hmm.
I mean, it's really,
Value and stuff.
how, yeah, the budgets
Right.
are, how they are. So they do not
Uh,
want to just throw it away.
so that is really cool, right? And this whole concept of storytelling, I think it's something now all business owners and business operators can
Yeah,
kind of relate to, that each business, although services and products they sell might be similar, their own story is kind of unique, or their own journey. Do you guys,
exactly.
when you and just on your process and how you do things, when you guys approach a client, are you trying to get them to kind of talk to you about their own journey, or is the agenda or the mandate kind of specific to maybe something that they want to talk about? What is and you mentioned this, right? Like, you kind of consult them, you ask them questions and talk to them. What is the whole process of like a client approaching you guys, and then a storyboard or sort of that bit created? Like, how does that process kind of happen?
So basically, I don't know if you've heard of it. So because like I said, I have a background in design. So design thinking is something that
Hmm.
we like to work on, and it's if you go to see today, a lot of corporates are also applying it in their own businesses. I mean, it sounds like, why would design have anything to do with a corporate and all that in the way they function? But actually, when you learn about it, it's extremely tactful in solving complex problems, so like, there might be, I mean, it's all human needs. It teaches you about the human centric way of dealing with problems. How Because today, the more humanized a brand is, the more connect you have with your audience, that is the only way your brand or your product is going to sell. So
Hmm.
initially, yes, we learn from them, we understand what they want, we ask them what it is that you want us to portray through your product or brand, and then we will pitch them with the storyboard, etc., like presentation. Of course, we have a lot of like brainstorming sessions with the client. We prefer
Right.
that because the more you
Hmm.
hear, the more something just comes out of it. The more you talk, the more you hear. I mean, it's just more cohesive and it's more strategic that way than just like, okay, I got it from here. Like, we got it in the first meeting. It just doesn't work that way. The more you talk to them, the more you relate to them, something just
Hmm.
amazing comes out in that process. So in the whole, I mean, in any video, in any product or any concept that we pitch, it's all about bringing something, uh, an
Hmm.
emotion that just strikes a chord with the person viewing it.
Right.
It could be any emotion.
And that's so interesting, right? Like, you may have some form of a templated format for the way the video is produced, but at the end of the day, like you're saying, the story or what the message they're trying to convey, that is really unique with the business and only
Yeah.
comes with discussions that you've had with them after a few
Yes.
brainstorming sessions, etc.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Karishma, in all of this, right? You have teams that you're working with. You have, the clients that you're dealing with. What are some of the challenges you have faced along the way in your journey of like building this agency?
So, okay, the thing is, sometimes, like educating people about video marketing and what
Hmm.
a video can do is really difficult. Okay, and then, uh, so for example, a cost of a 30-second video should be lesser
Hmm.
than a 2-minute video. I mean, that's like this funny notion that people have. Just because I want a 30-second video, I want a 45-second ad or
Huh.
something. It's not a 2-minute ad, but we're like, okay, so it doesn't work like that, like
Right.
so there's this example that, would come along the way. I mean, it's really cool if you have like a small grocery bag, okay, and you fit in that same amount of bag, you put in truffle, like, or you put in one dal ka packet in another. I mean, it's going to cost you totally different, but the value of that a bag is going to differ. So it's like your content in that 45 second or 2 minutes is what is going to be the cost. So that is where, we've had people coming and being like, confused. Then we have to like
Hmm.
educate and tell them, okay, the quality they want will be mission impossible. And then, we have got like a budget of some real Instagram reel thing. So we're like, okay, we need to like uh, get on the same page
Same
here.
page, of course.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And I mean, also another thing we face is video is not easily productized. If you
Hmm.
me I mean to get it, so it's not something that you can scale, like, right? So it's
Yeah.
not a product that you can just like have this avenue and this avenue. But yeah,
Hmm.
we have slowly found out. We've found different ways of even dealing with that.
Okay.
We came up with this new concept called Area Wiki, which is like how you have your Wikipedia. So it's something like we do for real estate, and it's almost like an area wiki of an entire space of an entire area which a builder, a developer, or someone can use to sell their building or whatever commercial space they want to sell to their clients. So it's something like these small things that we suddenly just brainstorm and come up with if we can. I mean, that is the thing. So
So what
yeah,
exactly is
basically,
this?
challenges doesn't cost.
So what exactly is this area wiki? That sounds pretty cool. So is it something that you guys came to the clients with and pitched it to them as like a
Yeah,
concept?
yeah,
And why
yeah.
don't you explain
It
that a
is.
little further?
So actually, it's basically we give them an entire so the video if they are talking about if you, for example, you have a building or a builder
Hmm.
who is ready who wants to launch a building in a particular area in Bombay or
Hmm.
anywhere in India, for instance. Then we give that person, like if a layman, if tomorrow you want to go and buy something or any of their financiers, etc., want to pitch in. So they show an entire uh, like concept of that area that building is going to come up in. So whether it's we do it with Google Maps, we track it, we have a lot of motion graphics, we have a lot
Wow.
of animation. So we use like even if we have to use Google Earth over there, whatever, we use all kinds of technology, and then we come up with what exactly that area has to offer for anyone coming over there. So whether
Hmm.
it is malls, whether what is your transportation close by, what is what is anything, the schools available, the hospitals available nearby. So everything is done. If you see the video, which is there on our website, you will have an exact idea of what I mean by area wiki. It's like your entire Wikipedia page for that space.
That is really interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see like an
Yeah,
example of how you guys do that as
yeah,
well.
definitely. We'll show you a video of that on our website.
Okay, for sure. And so Karishma, I wanted to ask you something. You've worked with clients in all different industries, and I'm assuming like in different parts of India. What do you think the differences are that you see in clients, let's say in Delhi versus clients in Bangalore or clients in Bombay? Is there, I mean, which ones do you prefer, or if you don't prefer any, like what do you see as like a difference between them?
So, I mean, we have worked with clients all over India, so I don't think there's been such an issue as such. But any corporate, for example, it does take time. The turnover time for a period is much longer because of
Mm,
the hierarchies that they have to go through from
right.
the executive to the heads, and that takes a lot of time. Because when we work with
Yes.
international clients, somehow it's very fast. The
Right.
decisions are fast, the turnaround periods are fast, the processing of the payments are fast. I mean, everything is just a smoother process. So I guess that's more of a corporate kind of
Mm,
thing we have to deal with in this industry, because it does take time more than anything. The faster we get feedback, the faster we get, you know, some kind of direction, the faster the product is ready. But
of
that
course.
is something, yeah, it does take time, and it depends on the company too. If it's like somewhere, I mean, if we work with some more technical company, like if they've got some gadget or something that they want to make a product of,
Mm,
it kind of happens a little faster, I guess. I don't know why that is, but we've seen that process a little better. And
mm.
or probably if it is even a young startup, or if it is a team who is, you know, newly funded, things just work
Little
kind of little
faster to
faster.
reply.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but a company that's a little more older
Mm.
just takes a little more time.
So my experience has been pretty interesting with this, right? Whenever I approach international clients or people in the
Yeah,
US or UK or something like that, they are very quick to give you feedback, but they're also very
yeah,
quick to say no. In India,
yeah.
nobody ever
Exactly.
says no, right? It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
the we'll get back to you or
We'll
something.
get back
So
to yeah, yeah,
right, that's I think that's something that a lot of service
yeah.
professionals kind of go
They're
through.
very like they're very sure of what they want. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of helps sometimes. Like internationally, I guess they just know. Okay, this is what we want. This is what we don't want. Here,
Right.
things can get a little gray. Like we have to show them what it can be, and then probably they'll be like, okay, we don't like this, and maybe we do like this. So that's where things take time.
And like you said, right, it's India at this point, like with video marketing and even different things, it's although it's been there for some time, a lot of these businesses,
Yeah,
they're doing it maybe for the first time, right? So
first
for
time,
them it's something.
exactly.
Right.
It's very
um
difficult to educate people, right?
yeah. So um so so Karishma, like tell me, where do you think anti-gravity is in 5 years time, right? You mentioned that this is not something where it's like a AI, video creation product, right? Where you can have like tens
Right,
of thousands of customers. But where do you see you
right.
guys, your agency, your organization in the next 5 years? What is the next leap of growth for you guys?
So, I mean, when we think about it, we do want to expand globally. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
want to hit different continents if we can, because there are a lot of companies that do get in touch with us. It's about sometimes just getting the right pitch and the right time, and that's something that we're really looking forward to,
Right.
growing in globally as such for with anti-gravity. And also, like, we kind of, I mean, what we want to do is be this one-stop solution to probably a product or a brand that we can be there for them, from branding to communication to
Mm,
the marketing to even probably space planning. So if tomorrow a coffee shop or someone like that wants to start their space, and they want to market it, and they want to make a brand out of it, and they want
mm,
their video content, and they want everything. So we want to be that one place that they just have to be at, come to, and we'll take care of all their collaterals, whether it is their branding, like I said, communications, marketing, and even their space planning. So we can actually do up their space along with doing everything else. So it's like everything will go hand in hand for them. All their what they want to portray with their brand will actually remain with us. So we know from the birth of this brand to the finished product of
Mm,
all their collaterals to everything, we can do it very integrally. So that was something that I really look forward to doing. Actually, I mean,
right.
I really want that to happen. Like
That's
tomorrow, if you
awesome.
wanna
Mhm.
you wanna set up a office, or you wanna set up a space, and you want everything of all your needs, you can come to us. From
For sure. If we ever
we'll
get our
take care of
app running,
everything. Yeah.
100%. If we get our app running, we get funded. I'm gonna call you to help us set up an
Done. You better.
office.
You better. I should be the first to call you guys too.
Of course. So, Karishma, last few questions. I wanted to ask you, how has kind of COVID impacted your business? What do you think the long-lasting effects have been of the situation, of the pandemic, and how are you guys kind of navigating yourself through it?
So it definitely extremely hard. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie about that. It's been really hard
Yeah.
because right now, uh, it's really sad, but because whenever we just talk to someone who we've been in touch with from their marketing
Mm.
department or sales or something, and they say they've been laid off or things like that, and
Yeah.
so it's like it's really heart-wrenching. So we have to
Mm.
really be careful right now on how much, where we are spending, where we're not spending.
I got you.
Probably hold back on our own company's marketing and
Mm.
their the spends. And so again, we have to create days with the new person involved in that company. We have to crack it all over again, and it is slow, yeah, because people are not. I mean, right now the budgets. I mean, they don't have much to even market. So
Right.
yeah, but then there are clients who also believe that right now, because of the pandemic, there
Mm.
are more people viewing it online. I mean, there is more viewership happening on your OTTs and on social media and on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So yes, those kind of clients are coming to us where they do want to, uh, put their ads up. So it's kind of like a 50-50 scenario right now because of the pandemic, everyone's online, yeah. So yeah, there are
Yeah.
people yet seeing ads.
Mm.
It's something probably that some people are scared to spend on, and some people just are already foreseeing that this is where they should be spending their money right now, because probably on your other, if you have on paper branding and all is lesser. In fact,
Mm.
on video people are on it 24/7, so that is better for us right now. So yeah, we have to just find that balance of the right clients.
And I wanted to ask you, you guys did this Comic Con event. Of course, I'm assuming this was before the pandemic. What do you see the
Yeah,
future for events and stuff like that? I mean, parts of the world, some of them have resumed. There's events happening. What do you see happening in
yeah.
India for things like Comic Con and stuff like that in the future?
I honestly have no idea
Yeah.
when we are gonna get back on the event space, but because we have had we've done a lot of events, and it's been really good because it's something that we really enjoy doing. We like cutting their after movies and things like that, launch teaser launches, etc. But right now, well, I think it's kind of gonna be like 2023 for all for things to get back on track. Because yeah, abroad we are getting yet inquiries that there is an event possible by November, December. So, we want you guys to cover it, etc. So maybe in India, it's definitely going to take a while for sure. But
Mm.
hopefully things internationally are rolling and it'll get better. Hoping for that.
Right. Hopefully sometime soon we can go back to having events and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so Karishma, just to wrap
Yeah.
this up and kind of hear your last words. I wanted to know, what do you think is the biggest reason your clients keep coming back to you guys? What is that competitive advantage, or just generally that thing that you're able to provide your clients that make them feel comfortable working with you guys?
So, like I said, it's basically a combination of being, practical as well as being emotional. So
Hmm.
if we know practical as in where yes, their budgets should be spent, where their costings should be, and emotional when I say is when we can, use every story of theirs, we hear everything, and we perfectly place their content in the right way at the right time. So because we have, and because honestly, like for me, the assets of a company are always the people working in it. Like it's the team. It's that is the main asset in any company. If you're a team, the people in it are your strong
Sure.
points. And because
Mm-hmm.
luckily we have a great team who will, like, not look at us, not ask us anything. We give them a
Mm.
free hand for a lot of things. So there's no like, okay, I will get back to you after a while. Even if the client has got in touch with one of our creative directors, he can take a call. We have given
Mm.
that kind
Mm.
of a freedom, so that way the clients know that there's not going to be much of like back and forth. Okay, we've asked them this today, they're going to get back to us day after or something like that. Because time is so crucial in something like this. They need it delivered on a particular time. Yes, we will deliver it to you on that time. We
Right.
have till date never gone beyond any time limit that they've offered. So I guess, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is our competitive advantage. We on time, we are available for them all the time, and we know how to use their budgets. That's very important.
So that's awesome, Karishma. Thank you so much for joining our podcast. It was really great to talk to you and gain some
Thank
insights.
you so much. It was
And
great
guys, you
talking
heard
to you,
it.
Manju.
If you need any video production work, please contact Karishma. She's like she said, she's available 24/7. Contact her whenever you want to. And
Oh, totally done.
awesome. Thank you so much.